Gut. Was machen wir als erstes? Feed the cat. Ja, Catfish. So. Dann gucken wir noch nach Sidequests. Die gibt es natürlich auch. Assurance Director, Monster Extermination. Alright. Ja, hier sind nämlich schon wieder einige nicht available. Ich finde es sehr schön. Brandon ist verständlich. Maya, Bell und Abers. Das sind schon mal 2 Hints. Das sind literally 2 Hints. Ihr sagt nicht inwiefern, aber es sind 2 Hints. So. Dann gehen wir mal hier hoch. Oh, hello everyone. You the special support section, correct? As I'm sure you've heard by now, the CBD is being reconstructed into a branch of the Crossbell Defense Force. There's currently a meeting taking place on the second floor to outline the system to each of the sector's chiefs. You ask that you return to your base of operations and remain there until further instructions arrive. Sure. Feel free to move about the first floor, but please refrain from causing a disturbance. If actions are deemed suspicious, we will not hesitate to take you into custody. Understood. They're being awfully coercive. Yeah, don't think any of the others down here are fixing to cross them. Ich kann ihre Services nicht beanspruchen. Schade. That was one heck of a speech. I expected a crowd to go from mayor to our very first president. Not to mention all those bold statements you made against Erebonia and Calvert. I've been refuting a secret within our state. Do you suppose that accident back then had something to do with it? However, Erebonia and Calvert? When was the last time anyone ever stood up for Crossbell like that? Commander Leader President Kra or Dive members are all a pack of domesticated dogs. Sure, a few of them were on the more upsetting side, like Speaker McDowell. But we've never had a leader this powerful before. Not only that, but he appointed Crossbell's very own guardian, Aris McLean, as the Secretary of Defense. I can think of a single person better suited to be at the helm of our state's protection. I have nothing to fear. Our defense might not be a pipe dream after all. I'm sure everything will be fine as long as we leave it to Mayor, no, President Kra. Yeah, with him as our leader, we don't have to be afraid of Erebonia or Calvert. Thank you, President Kra. Our hero, President Kra. 3 cheers for the President Kra! Hooray for President Kra! Hooray for independence! Hooray for Crossbell! Das geht ein bisschen... Ja, das snowballt gerade ein bisschen. This is getting out of control. Well, so I can understand how they feel, though. Trouble is bound to follow if they become more overzealous. Well, I'm sure the defense force here will have things under control in all time. We should go. Look over there. Stationed guys from the CBD in front of the tower, eh? So, not just a few of them. As long as your leader made his declaration of independence, this increase in security is no surprise. Was it you, Riley? Oh, Kara! That's a very nice idea. I like that in white. So they transferred here from Crossbell? From Vanguard. Yeah, they had to move some of us from the border gates to guard the president's address. Focus is patrolling somewhere around here too. Oh, cool. There's one of Randy's colleagues, alright. I believe there were friends during this time of the CGF. It's been pretty hectic since all of this went down. The guardsmen were all pretty surprised when we were told to put on these uniforms. I know what you mean. I had no idea this was coming down the pipes either. Looking pretty sleek though. Looks like this has all been in the real works for a while. Yeah, I'm sure the president has been looking forward to this day. The defense force is hoping to get some equipment upgrades too, so we've got to buckle down and prove we deserve it. Right. The defense force soldiers seem to be in favor of this turn of events. The CGF had always lacked things most armed forces would have. It's only natural for them to welcome these changes from their perspective. Oh, in case you hadn't heard, the defense force is shaking up the structure of command to be more like other armies on the continent. Our current ranks are carried over, but our day-to-day operations are going to be a lot stricter, like a proper military. I know we were pretty lax about using ranks back in the days, but I don't think that will fly now. Thanks for the heads up. One of me really give me an earful for not calling a second lieutenant next time I see her. Well, there already have been, because some things never change. It's getting a skin I can think about. Yeah, I don't think you'll have to worry about that anymore. Well, what's that supposed to mean? Things are carrying over, so she'd still be second lieutenant, wouldn't she? That's not what I mean. There's something you should know, Randy. Carter, watch for what you say to outsiders. Yes, sir. Sorry, Randy, I have to give you the details at some other time. If they're found before then, it is. What's going on, but my bad. Didn't mean to get you chewed out. Okay, don't worry about it. Reminds me, is the police going to be folded into the defense force too? You'll be wearing the same uniform again in the near future. How about that? That's one thing to worry about. We should excuse ourselves. Yeah, let's go. Alles nicht ganz so ready, was hier gerade so abgeht. Okay. Ich gucke gerade, was hier gerade im nächsten Gleich passiert, aber wir werden nur ein bisschen Zeit questen. Wir werden eigentlich nur die Monster Extermination machen, danach wird es wieder geredet durch die durchgehende Story. Gut. Wir fangen mal an. Ihr seid analyzed. Du resist einfach alles in dieser Schwäche. Komm, ich konnte gerade. So, machen wir einen Deathly Storm auf.
任せてくれ。エニグマそれ。ありがとう。甘いっての。甘いっての。
Engage.
任せてくれ。おっしゃ。グライダーそれ。ありがとう。よし。私の番です。ドライブ開始。やっ。助かりました。任せて。そこ。行くぜ。よし。
Nummer 1 one.
や。え。そこ。俺の番だな。行くぞ。よし。はい。エニグマ。行くぜ。任せて。任せてくれ。行くぞ。
Kriegen wir noch einen Durchschnitt, dann... Wechseln wir nur noch Randi. Und Bonk, sehr schön. Ich soll eine Monster nicht gefunden. So. Und dann gibt es noch den Pipe It's a recipe. Ah, God, this isn't going to work either. Why doesn't I try this key? Try reversing and disengage in a task. What am I doing, Jordan? Oh, it's here. Something caught my eyes. I've been looking into it. That's all. Figured I'd run an analysis, but I guess I got too into it. This one's a really doozy. Consider yourself lucky you get to witness the great genius Jonas Sacred at work. Sure, whatever you say. By the way, Jonas, did you catch the beat earlier? Oh, you mean about Koran naming yourself president or whatever? I mean, yeah, I managed to tune in using the terminal, but honestly, I don't really care about it one way or another. You know, if you guys are done here, can you meet it already? I'm kind of in the middle of something. Alright. You tried. He doesn't care about a damn thing outside cyberspace as usual. And Jonas is one of Jonas' many bad habits. I see to it that he receives a thorough chastisement for the lady. Try to go easy him. We've borrowed him enough for one day. I'll just come back some other time. Okay, this is actually kind of recipes. 3 fehlen uns noch.
任せてくれ。よし、完璧だ。もうちょっと自信ないけど、何かしらこれ。
Ja, 3 fehlen noch. So. Und draußen sind wir. Dann gehen wir kurz hier hin. Acacia Buildings. Das müsste wer sein? Marcy on the second floor. Du? Du? Danke. Aber kurz so einen Check. Haben wir da soweit? Jupp. Ich muss auch mal irgendwann mal noch durchlesen, ey. Gönn dir. Gut. Dann haben wir noch eine Hidden Side Quest, die wir machen können. Okay. Shit, ist ja eigentlich gerade irgendwo. Ich sehe sie zumindest gerade nicht. Ich bin gerade, wer mir gerade für mich echt interessant, dass Grease gerade treibt. Aber er fällt auch nicht. Nee, wait. Also, ich muss erst zu Brazier Guild gehen und dann hierher kommen. Fine. Gehen wir erst zu Brazier Guild. Und dann schaltet sich dieser Quiz erst frei. Ich will die nochmal nach Downtown, fällt mir gerade ein. Dann... genau. Dann können wir nochmal Evergreens und so kriegen. So, dafür brauche ich Carding und Browser. Und plus 2 Holy Lockets mit. Kannst du nämlich auch noch mal ein... Was war's denn? Evergreen erstmal mitnehmen. Das macht ein Holy Locket. Oh, Brand Stuff Blows Only. Ah, okay. Ich hätte jetzt mit dem Grey Locket verwechselt. Wenn wir die Still Blue geben, eigentlich nicht. Die geben aber nochmal ein Still Blue mit. Okay, so ein Passionate Rouge mit. So. Das ist schon krass, wie sehr die Stärkeunterschiede gerade sind, ey. So, er hat den Mars. Ruby Gem. Ah. Okay, fair. Ich kann nicht Leute komplett Gem. Das wäre ein bisschen Overkill. Zumindest noch nicht jetzt. Dann gehen wir mal zum Bracer.
ごめんください。
失礼します。
あなたたち。
いや、ロイドたちか。やれやれ。揃いも揃ってしけた面並べてんな。
余計なお世話だと言いたいところだが、まあ否定はせん。
よりにもよってなんでアリオスさんが寝耳に水すぎるよ。本当にそんな気配は全然なかったものね。強いて言うならオルキスタワーを訪れることが最近多かったくらいかしら。
Was hat er?
そうね。あくまで今後のギルドの対応を協議しに行ってたはずだけど、まさかこんな段取りを話し合っていたなんて。
実はそのあたりをお聞きしたくて来たんです。アリオスさんはまだギルドに所属してるんですか？
昨夜いきなり辞表を出して遊撃士のエンブレムを返してきたわ。持っていた仕事は全部片付けて、今後の対応策も出してくれたのはいかにも彼らしいけど。
Ja, auf jeden Fall vorbereitet.
そうだったんですか。
Wie fast alles, was gerade passiert.
確かにアリオスさんらしい几帳面さですね。
だがこのように唐突にやめるのはさすがに問題だろう。しかもクロスベル独立国の国防軍長官などと。
こう言ってはなんだけどエレボニアの反応が怖いわね。資産凍結なんていう脅迫すらしてしまっている状態だし。そうだね。共和国の反応も怖いな。
だがアリオスさんの気持ちも理解できないわけじゃない。
スコット、
どういうこと？
俺もアリオスさんと同じクロスベル市の出身だが、確かに演説にもあったような原因不明の不可解な事故は年に 1,2 回は起きていたんだ。本当のことはわからないけど、皆帝国か共和国絡みで起きたことだとはうすうす感じていた。
それは
まあここ最近はそうした事故は起きてないが、
Das hat bestimmt vielleicht auch andere
5
Gründe.
年前アリオスさんの奥さんとしずくちゃんが巻き込まれた事故が最後と言えるかもしれないな。
ひょっとして
5年前に表通りで起きた運搬車の爆発炎上事故。当初はオーバルエンジンの暴走と可燃性の積み荷が原因とされたけど、そしてその事故に巻き込まれて奥さんのさやさんは亡くなり。
そういう顛末だったのかよ。
断片的な情報はある程度は聞いていましたが、それでアリオスさんは警察を辞めてギルドに移って。
私もアリオスとはその後からの付き合いだけど、彼一言も言わなかったけどずっと引っかかってたんでしょうね。そう考えると、今回の大役を引き受けたのも
ミシェルさん、失礼は承知で尋ねますが、アリオスさんのスケジュールで不審な点はありませんでしたか？
え？
ロイド君、どういうこと？
国防軍の司令長官、いきなり引き受けるにはあまりに重すぎる役目だと思います。多分ビータ市長、いや大統領との間で根回しがされていたんじゃないですか。
Da hat er recht, weil das ohne Vorbereitung passiert sowas nicht, vor allem nicht in so einem rasanten Tempo, wie es gerade passiert.
それも最近ではなくしばらく前から。
ミシェル？
まさか本当なのか？
確かに行き先など報告と食い違っていることはたまにあったわ。あれだけ仕事を抱えてたら当然だとは思ってたけど、考えてみればアリオスが報告を間違うなんて不自然極まりないのよね。
それじゃあそうした時間にディーター市長とコンタクトを？
その可能性は考えられるかもしれない。ロイド君さすがね。怖いくらいの洞察力だわ。
いえ、失礼なことを言ってすみません。失礼ついでにお聞きしますけど、そうしたアリオスさんの行き先やスケジュールの食い違い、半年以上前で覚えはありませんか？
半年以上前って、まだディーターさんが市長にもなっていませんが。
そこまで前だとさすがに覚えてないんだけど、あ、でもあれがあったか。
あれ？
創立記念祭の最終日よ。彼仕事でレミフェリアに出張することになってたんだけどそれを急遽キャンセルしたのを報告し損なってたのよ。後で気づいて聞いてみたら、忙しくて報告し損なったって言ってたけど、何か気になるの？
まあ、あの記念祭は殺人的な忙しさだったし。
Ich sag nichts dazu, aber das ist halt ein massiver Hint. Es ist halt ein massiver Hint.
報告に齟齬があったとしても無理もないと思うが。
記念祭の最終日。最終日といえば。
それがどうつながってるんだ？
わからない。でも何かつながりそうな気がする。今まで俺たちが忙しさのあまり見過ごしていた点と点が。すみません、失礼します。はい、こちらクロスベル警察特務支援課で。
ああ、クロスベル国防軍特務支援課の間違いじゃないのか？
Wow.
あなたは？
さて私は誰でしょう？正解された方には漏れなく豪華景品を。
くだらないクイズは結構です。一体どの面を下げてクロスベルにやってきたんですか？
Mrs. Lecter.
やれやれ、嫌われたもんだな。派手なことになってるみたいだが、ちょっと会って話せないか？ま、損はさせないと思うぜ。
わかりました。どこに行けばいいんですか？
クリムゾン商会、いや、元ルバーチェ商会と言った方がいいが、あそこの会長室にするか。
地下のあそこですか？わかりました。
そんじゃ待ってるぜ。
もしかして行方不明のザオ氏とか？そういえばこの前ランディさんがいなくなった時。
そうだったのか？
いや、違う。帝国軍のレクター大尉だ。
あの人またクロスベルに来ていたんですか？
確かにどの面下げてって感じだな。
どうやら旧ルバーチ商会で話があるみたいだ。
Nicht nur mit uns.
赤い星座とのつながりを考えるととても油断はできないけど。
だな。
Oder nee, warte mal, das kommt noch mal ein bisschen später. Nee, die Katzig kam noch ein bisschen später.
虎
Nicht die, die
穴
ich gerade im
に
Kopf
いら
habe.
ずんばですね。準備だけは万全にした方が良さそうね。
あなたたちも大変そうね。
どうやら面倒な相手とやり合うみたいだな。
情報局のアランドールか。恐ろしく厄介な若造らしいが、
厳しそうなら助立ちするから遠慮なく言ってよ。そうね。湿地帯での借りもあるし。ありがとうございます。手に負えなさそうだったらぜひ力を貸してください。
Sweet. Immerhin die Bracer hat sich halten und den Rücken frei. Aber ist gut to know. Hier wollen aber jetzt mal ein paar. Was ist denn hier so? Was ist hier, Leute? The grave belongs to Lloyd's older brother. You need to visit him, weren't you? That's right. There's something I wanted to speak with Guy about. I mean, wirklich reden kann er gerade nicht, aber fair enough. I wanted to talk to my brother? Yeah, I wish to tell him about the raid, the Declaration of Independence, and President Cross speech. The people of Crossbell are all facing in a singular direction, irrespective of their own personal emotions. It is for that reason that I'm opting to go against the grain and ponder the darkness of the past instead. Darkness of the past, do you mean? Yes, I do, referring to the murder of your older brother, Detective Guy Bunnings. Sehr interessant ist, die Sidequest jetzt auch noch den Mord von Guy aufbringt. Ah. Das kann halt die ganzen Subtle Hints, die dieses Game doch die ganze Zeit unter der Nase versteckt hält, ist so. Er muss nur die richtigen Connections ziehen und da versteht man eigentlich schon, ja, aber ohne Kontext ziehst du diese Connections halt einfach nicht. I beg your pardon? Where's Dev? Where's this coming from? And why now? Or is saying there's never been a more perfect time? What is it? What exactly is it that you know, Mr. Nielsen? Ah. Right. Special support section. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like for us to head elsewhere so we can review the case together. What does that sound? Right. If you're willing to, then so are we. Thank you for your cooperation. It just happens that I have the perfect blaze in mind. Let's make our way back to the city. Let's go, Guy Bunnings. Out of curiosity, Mr. Nielsen, why come to Garanta specifically? 3 years ago, Guy and I agreed to meet here for another one of our friendly exchanges of information. It was shortly before that meeting when I learned of his death. Oh, that explains it. The secret behind the Carverwood incident, the rest of the Imperial and Republican faction died members, the election of a new mayor, the inaugural meeting of the Western Sumerian Trade Conference, the raid on Crossbell City, and now the declaration of Crossbell's independence. Each of these events may appear isolated on the surface, in truth, they are closely intertwined. In other words, they are all pieces of a so much larger puzzle. Not just of a much larger part of a so much larger puzzle. Die ganze Crossbell-Situation ist nur ein Puzzle-Piece. Und das ist schon ein komplexes Puzzle in sich selbst. A larger puzzle, really? Yes, we're on to unpack the bigger picture behind them. The rest of the pieces would surely fall into place. Doing so should shed some new light on the murder of Guy Bunnings. This is why I propose this case review. I understand, however, if you'd rather spare yourself the headache, Lloyd. Or the heartache, nicht the headache. No, I'm alright. Right. I certain for that. Don't forget, time ain't exactly on our side today. You should get a show on the road. Well, that's perfectly fine with me. Let's begin then. First and foremost, we should examine the conditions under which Guy Bunnings' body was discovered. It was a rainy day 4 years ago at August Tower's construction site. Und ja, der Turm wird wirklich schon seit 3 Jahren gebaut. Time of death was estimated to be just past dawn, though the body was not discovered until later that night. As for the cause of death, it was a horrific shock. A bullet from an orbital gun pierced him from behind straight through the heart. Is all this incorrect? Yes, that's right. A shot in the back. Damn, what the hell? Let us reconstruct the scene of the crime at the time his body was found. To begin, there are signs of a fierce struggle throughout the area. However, the only physical evidence left behind was Guy's body itself. Not only was his favorite pair of tonfas absent from the locus delict, but the CBD badge that he also proudly wore on his chest was missing as well. I've come to understand that his badge was recently recovered. It is true that it was taken by a member of the organized crime syndicate known as Ravage. Yes, we found it in Marconi's office and they later confirmed it. The mafioso in question even confessed to lifting the badge off of his body after the cult incident was resolved. Let's see. How that was, as I said, after the fact. As far as eyewitnesses go, there were none. At the time, construction work had been suspended and no staff were present at the site. The time of day and environment of factors were also unfavorable. It was the break of dawn in the midst of a blustery thunderstorm. Because of that, there was no reason for anyone to approach the scene, much less witness the actual murder. To make matters worse, Gus never informed anyone of where he was heading prior to the incident. And that is where my trail goes cold. What you just heard is the entirety of what I've managed to gather these past 3 years. That is unless you have anything to add, Lloyd. Oh, I don't think so. We covered everything I knew too. So his penchant for giving information never ceases to amaze. As though in this case, it would seem Guy was not just a source to him, but a dear friend as well. That may explain why he was had such a vested interest in a cold case like this. Very well, why don't we move on to the case review then? If we to unravel this mystery, we must first carefully consider our potential culprits. The obvious place to start would be to go over the most likely suspects, namely Raja and the DG cult. Do you believe that either of them might be the perpetrator, Lloyd? It wasn't either of them. No, it couldn't have been either. As far as the Mafia goes, McCarty denied that he and his men were responsible. Of course, his word only means so much on his own, but Deren told us that although he arranged for Raja to kill my brother, they failed. Kashira admitted it to him when McCartney tried to take credit. There's also no evidence that any of the subordinates went behind their backs to carry out a hit. Not only that, but Guy was also already investigating both the Mafia and Duarley. His defenses were up. He would have never put himself in a position where either of them could make an attempt on his life. I just can't fathom that being the case. Don't agree, chances are some. And when we come to learn about it, dude says he wasn't just ballsy, he was a damn good detective too. That he was. I could never believe for a second that he died fighting the Mafia or the cult. I feel just the same way myself. The menace of this case would appear to point elsewhere. The Fury may have held water prior to the cult incident, but at this point we can safely rule out both Arashi and the cult. So let's move down the list. Could he have been assassinated on behalf of one of the other two major powers? By a dying member from the Imperial or Republican faction, say, or one of the government officials they align with, or perhaps a foreign intelligence officer. The thing is possible that Guy's killer might be fit into any of these categories. Not very likely. Well, I think that's pretty unlikely. It's true that there have always been corrupt officials who Crossbell have ties to the two major powers. It's also true that my brother was quick to push against the injustices they committed. Plus, we can now say for certain that spies from both countries were making frequent visits to Crossbell around that time. But as much as I believe in my brother, he was in no ready position to touch them. We couldn't have viewed him as a serious threat. Unfortunately, you're probably right. As much as I hate to admit it, either nation could apply tremendous pressure on the CBD through the state government if they really wanted to. Especially under the old administration, when Guy was alive, would have been far too easy. Yeah, it just doesn't fit. I go to the effort of luring out and killing one. Single detective when bureaucratic red tape is effective enough as is. A high-risk, low-reward maneuver like that just wouldn't have been worth it. Much before on their side he was. Let's say, and I'm just talking hypotheticals here, that Lloyd's bro was in contact with one of those guys. He still wouldn't work into an obvious trap, it's the same deal as the Mafia. I concur. Impressively deduced, I have nothing more to say on the subject. With that, let's move on to our final possibilities. Out of a seizable pool of potential suspects, we have eliminated every one of them so far. Tell me then, what do you suppose could fit the profile of Guy's killer? Und vom Ouroboros? Ja, zu dem Zeitpunkt war es nicht aktiv hier. Zumindest nicht groß. Some from the CBD? Warum? A personal acquaintance. Guy was so wary of them, no doubt, but it had have to be someone he knew well. That's the only answer that fits. Huh? Are you serious? That brings you to that conclusion. Yeah, first of all, Guy never revealed to anyone where he was going beforehand. That leads me to believe he was confident in his ability to handle the situation alone. The only reason he would feel that way is if he was meeting someone he knew personally. That's true. Whether a guy was asked to go there or whether the meeting was his idea is impossible to say. But considering where they met, an empty construction site. Clearly whatever they planned to discuss was important. They didn't want anybody to hear what they were talking about. It's possible the conversation went sideways, that it broke down to the point of no return. Maybe that's why the killer took his life. What conversation would that be? Honestly, I don't have to sing screw, but whatever it was, it cost him his life. And that means it was grave enough to silence him off. I didn't use this word lightly, but it might have been linked to a deep conspiracy of some kind. A conspiracy? Henry, again, this review, you said that unpacking the bigger picture would shed new light on the case. At the moment, I felt like something clicked, way in the back of my mind. Did you know? I can't get past the idea that my brother was closing in on some kind of secret plot. A plot concocted by somebody connected to the DG cult, the Mafia, the Empire, and the Republic, and also separate from them. Whoever it was, they wouldn't allow Guy to interfere, and chances are the conspiracy is still alive and well to this day. Doesn't sound like the most logical explanation. Connected yet also separate. And so this conspiracy is still ongoing. It's hard to try any other conclusions. The killer is still large after all. The fact alone is enough to tell me that whatever they killed Guy over is a long ways off from settled. Mr. Nielsen? Sorry, was that too far-fetched? No, not at all. I think your reasoning is perfectly sound. Let me ask you this, Lloyd. As we were reviewing this case, did any particular suspect come to mind? One who could, in theory, have got Guy out of the construction site and murdered him 3 years ago? Unfortunately not. To his credit, Guy was popular, even if we narrowed it down to those he knew personally, it's still a lot of people. I mean, ich weiß es, aber es gibt auch 2 Vermutungen, die einem sicher auch gut stellen könnten. There are also 2 other key details. His back was turned when it happened, and his tongue thrusts were removed from the scene afterwards. I suspect that both of these facts are vital to figure out what really happened that day. Then again, if that evidence alone was enough to identify the killer, the first division would have solved this case 3 years ago. That's a fair assessment. Unfortunately, not every clue has been revealed, and so the culprit cannot yet be identified. However, I do think one thing has made itself very clear. The only person who can uncover those final missing pieces and solve this puzzle is you, Lloyd. So Nielsen. Alright, I intend to do just that. Glad to hear it. It's strange, I suddenly feel as though I've made good on my promise to share intel with Guy here 3 years ago. I owe my deepest gratitude for indulging me with this review session. Oh, not at all, if anything. You should be the ones thanking you for this. You're so kind. Now, if you excuse me, I greatly anticipate hearing about your future exploits, SSS. I guess that's what Mr. Nielsen was hoping to help us from more than the other way around. Might be also something to you. Keeping his promise to my brother may have been his real goal. I've got a good time to speak with him. Can't help but agree. I said it. Oh, come on, let's get cracking. All that hashing out's got me fired up. Next up, the Don's room in the old Raja building. It's time to see what information we can drag out of Lechner. Oh ja, das werden wir gleich machen. Ich will mal kurz gucken, dass ich die Requests reporte. Promotion! Pose is sad. Okay. Equipment. Let's make the pose is sad. Def 600 und A-Defense 55. Jesus! Tanky much. Tanky much. Und gebe ich dann lieber nicht noch hier Creature und dann. Nee, was ist es? Die Ocker. Defense Speed. Ja, okay, wir machen ihn einfach Tanky. Ran über Tanky. Gut. Bevor wir uns zur Revanche und Co. nochmal aufmachen, machen wir nochmal eine Kanal, eine kurze Pause. Ich will jetzt doch mal wieder auf Toilette. Aber ja, wir müssen gleich angucken, was Like da mit uns, ja, uns mitteilen möchte. Das gleich.